Hey guys, Moving the Grind Day 1. Want to send out the sincere apology. It's been a debacle here doing the video recording, but you know, we're on the way now. Again, for day 1, we're going to work with that quad. I was talking about in the blog how when we sit, the thing is dreadfully short. Its function, the rector femoris is attached to the hip and the knee, so if it's junky, man, it's going to mess with the squat mechanic. It's also going to take away from extension, but what we're going to start with is we really want to clean up this IT band border. You got your IT band running right here, kind of separates your quad from your hamstring, and what happens is that muscle tissue gets attached to that IT band, and so we want to break up those adhesions. So we're going to start working that border to start with, and then we're actually going to work with the muscle bellies themselves. Kind of break that up a little bit. So what we're going to start with, most people have a foam roller. This is the simplest way to do it. And again, we're going to work on catching that IT band border. The main thing is you're going to want your foam roller kind of perpendicular to your leg, and we're going to roll across it. We're going to start here and start our pressure here and roll across it. You pretty much want to be on your hamstring and then roll towards your quad. Don't sell yourself short by starting on your quad, because we want to grab that whole border. So the way to do that is you get down on your foam roller, and again, I'm pretty much on my hamstring to start with. And so what we're going to do, we're going to come up, start on that hamstring, and then roll across the IT band onto that quad, and you're just going to be able to tell it's a little bit junky right there. So we want to clean up that border, and take some time. If you find a place that's real junky, just stay there for a little while, because if it's uncomfortable, it's not normal. You should be able to put pressure on it without it bothering you. So we're just going to work all the way down. People with lateral band syndrome, this can aggravate it. So we're just going to keep working all the way down to right above the kneecap and just roll onto that quad. And I want you to spend about 2 minutes on each side. Easiest way to do this, spend 2 minutes on that band and then roll over and then work on the same quad. You can come up high, you can go all the way down to right above the kneecap, whichever way. What you want to do is you want to find somewhere that's uncomfortable, it's stiff. You can usually roll around and it feels like there's a piece of rope down there. What you want to do is you want to kind of catch that, and you want to let your weight just kind of descend down on that, and you want to breathe. You want to let your body relax down onto that. Maybe add a little gentle motion, but we're not just rolling up and down. We want to sit on one spot long enough so the tissue can respond, and our brains can kind of tell it to calm down. Now you can add some motion into this. You can just kind of extend your leg, flex the leg, and just work through there. You can contract, just flex the muscle as hard as you can for 5 seconds and just hold it in that same spot, and then relax. Maybe add a little gentle motion, get a little bit deeper in that muscle, but we want to spend a good solid 3 minutes. You can, like I said, you can start high. You can work more towards the medial side, towards your groin. You can work on the outside, the lateral side. You can work all the way down to about right above your kneecap. So just spend some good quality time there. So that's if you want to use a foam roller. What I prefer is I like to use a little bit of weight. I'd rather have the weight sitting on me so that it's harder for my body to resist it. When you're on that foam roller, you got to concentrate on breathing and let your weight kind of set down on that. But what I like to do is, this right here is an X-White. This is a 135-pound piece of steel, courtesy of Donnie Thompson, Super D at the compound down in Columbia, South Carolina. Shout out Super D. And then you just kind of let this thing sit on you. And what it does is, instead of your body having to sit on top of the weight, this is the weight sitting on top of you. And it just works really good, and oh man, I can just feel it pressing down on that tissue. And you don't want to fight against it, you want to let it win. Let it kind of work down into that tissue. You can contract or relax with this, but it's going to be a lot harder. The best thing to do with this is really just let the weight work. And you can just roll down, all the way until you get right above that kneecap. Don't roll it on the kneecap. Just don't roll on the kneecap. Not a good idea. And you can work back up. Then you can work on that border, work on that outside. If you're feeling frisky, you can work on that groin a little bit, the adductors. But spend some good quality time with this. Now, most people don't have access to one of these, but if you're in a CrossFit gym or a lot of functional gyms nowadays, you got a kettlebell. And we can just do the same thing with this. The kettlebell's a little more pinpoint, and just kind of let it sit. Let the weight work into the tissue. Don't fight against it. Just let it work. Let it work down in that tissue. And this is the easiest way to do it. You just kind of sit and hang out. You can have a conversation. You want to give a shout out to Doug Decker, Vertical CrossFit here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Come check us out, verticalcrossfit.com. But just kind of let the weight work. And like I said, this is a little more versatile than the X-Y. You can really find a nice spot, add a little gentle rotation in there, but just let the weight work. This really is a relaxing thing. It's a little uncomfortable to me, but I've done some work here, so it doesn't bother me too much. But if you start to get real frisky, you can actually turn it over and use the handle. And you can almost use it like a knife spreading jelly on bread. And just kind of press it down. But we don't eat bread, we eat paleo around here. But either way, and you can just kind of work up your leg, kind of slide it. You can use this to work that same IT band border. You can just kind of start it with here on the outside of your leg and just bring it across. And oh man, I can really feel it catching that side of my quad. But whichever method you use, you can use those three methods. Put some good work in there. I want to see about 2 minutes on that border and about 3 minutes on this quad, so that's 10 minutes total. If you sit, you can benefit from doing this every day. It's not going to hurt you to do it every day. Maybe you only do a small piece of it, but at least you're working at it. And as much as you can, you want to make a lifestyle change. If you're sitting all the time, maybe look at sit-stand desk options or just a different way to go about the day. Can you take your phone call standing up instead of sitting down? I know it's hard making that big adjustments, but see what you can do. So that's day one, working with the quad. Day two tomorrow, we're going to work with the TFL and the lateral hip here. So see you then.